Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers Generation Selects Deluxe Class Powerdasher Zetar. Yes, so if you don't know this character, I don't blame you. They were released in 1984 and no one knows about who the heck they are. So there were, long story short, there were three of them. One's a tank, drill tank, one's a jet, one's a car. They were mail-away exclusives. They had like alien alternate modes. They were from another toy line that Hasbro imported, but they just did mail away for some reason. And this is Zetar's first toy in years. And they weren't even called names. They were just Powerdashers and just their types. The names come from like an Italian company that sold them and gave them names. But anywho, this Zetar is the first new Zetar toy since that original toy was released, and is a retool of Siege Brunt. I didn't get a chance to review Siege Brunt yet, so I'll talk about this guy and also show him off with Siege Brunt. But first, like I said, let's talk about this guy. He has a tank alternate mode just like Brunt, who is and looks mostly like Brunt would. However, there is an additional drill bit piece up here. It is nicely painted in silver. It does have a blast effect port on top, which I find funny, and does not have a 5mm peg, but has a post, but has a 5mm hole, which allows you to peg it onto this 5mm peg on the front of the tank mode, so it can be used as a drill tank, which is very neat. But he still has the giant cannon on his top, which although is still from Brunt, but hey, you know what? He can be a drill tank and a cannon tank too. But speaking of the rest of the alt mode, there is a lot of yellow going on top. These tops here. There's a bit of black there and there. Nice silver paint on the treads and on these treads back here, though the treads are actually gray and the bits between the treads are silver here. Nice bit of silver there and yellow on the inside of that. Solid black back here, and solid yellow up here, black barrel, and then silver painted on yellow. You can still see a lot of the yellow on this bit here. There's the back, there's the underside there. He's got four wheels, one there, one there, one there, and one there. That does allow him to roll. If I remember from the instructions correctly, yep. Technically, these bits are not supposed to be on the toy, but I find it very strange for this to be naked, so I just like changed it up a little bit from Brunt. So I do that instead. And I think that's nice and fine and whatnot, which is cool. This tank does have articulation, as the turret is able to hinge all that far up, and the base of the turret is able to rotate a full 360 degrees, which is very neat. Also, if you want to use the ankle tilt, that will be the robot mode ankle tilt. You can do that. You can do that. Don't know what that does, but you know what? You can do that. Sure. And he also got a bunch of 5mm parts across the body. One there, two back here, one on top, one under the bottom there, but you can't use that right now. The one on this side, and then the one on that side, and the 5mm post, so you can mount things with 5mm holes in them on there. But that's a bit more so for the robot mode. And I'll just take these bits off, just so you get a clearer shot of them. Another thing I like to do, because unfortunately you can't plug this on front of the drill tank, which is what I thought would have happened, which is sad. But what you can do is you can connect these bits like so, and then put this on the top of the tank if you want a different look for the tank. Not as clean as if it was able to plug into here, but you know what? It is fine with what they did. I do like how this works here. I'll just put these back on for my own amusement. And Oh yeah, and I forgot the front here. Nice silver paint there. A little bit of yellow right above those silver bits, and a nice Autobot symbol right askew from the middle. But that is the tank mode, so let's get some size comparisons. Here they are with Legends class tailgate and Deluxe class sideswipe, Voyager class Optimus Prime, Leader class Ultra Magnus, his mold mate Brunt, and the other two siege weaponizers, Cog and Six Gun. As we already know, at the very least, we are going to get another one of the Powerdashers out of Cog, and I would assume we would get the other one out of Six Gun at some point. So there they all are together. And that's all to say on the alt mode, so let's roll right along to the robot mode. So let's just take those gun bits off and remove the drill from the front like so. And then we're going to dissect him a bit because he is a weaponizer, so they do that. We're going to pull this bit out from here. It just slides into these little bumps slide into those bits there. And then we're also going to pull this bit off. The two 5mm holes fit the two 5mm ports on the side. And we'll come detach the arms, 5mm port, post, 5mm hole. Same thing on the other side for that. So those are all the parts we don't need at the moment. So with the torso, with this chunk, we can rotate the waist like so. We can fold this down like so. Flip that post down, and then flip up the head. And there he is in robot. But no, I'm just kidding. But you can stand him like that if you want. So next we're going to come here. We're going to split the legs there. Just that tab and post sticking into the holes on the opposite foot. We'll fold that down. You're going to want to put this in correctly based on ankle tilt. And before we do that, actually, we got to come down here and flip the posts out to connect the lower legs to the upper legs, like so. And then we'll do that like so. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one because the ankle tilt goes that way. So we do that, and then we do that. So now he's got better legs to stand on. We'll come to these bits. We're going to pull on them. For some reason, if you put too much force on them, the swivel will pop out at the wrong way, so it's bad. And you do need to get a bit of extra force for some reason on this version of the mold to get this arm extended to its maximum length. So I don't know what's up with that. Just be careful so you don't break that mushroom peg right there. And it's worked same thing for both arms, but I've had more notable experiences with the left arm. But anywho, you do what I did. You do that, you fold that down, and you bring out the claw, stick that on that arm there. The same on the other side. Like that. You don't want to do that. That just could have steered that. There we go. So see, I am nervous now. I do not want to break this, especially not on camera. There we go. I heard it click, so we're good. Fold that down, pull that claw out, stick that there. Then we can come back here, just straighten that out. The same side posts are going to go into those holes there, like so. And then we just stick the drill bit on his head. And there is Zetar in his robot mode. And I do very much like him. He's quite a lot of fun. I don't know, like, I loved Brunt, but I also really like this guy too. Maybe it's just the yellow. Maybe it's just because I really like yellow. Actually, you know what? I just realized this is yellow and black. This could be a bumblebee. Who knows? So taking a closer look, you got his weird stubby face going on there. If the lighting will cooperate with me on showing you that. It's nice 70s robot face, silver face paint, yellow eyes, square nose, and then just streaks, just lines down from his eyes to his mouth, if you can see that. Also a bit of a nice bit of blue on the sides of the cheeks. And I'm just going to rotate the head really quick to show that the back of the head, if you can see that detail, is actually the lower half of Brunt's head, which is really funny to me. It is quite funny to me. But we'll put that drill head on. And yes, you can rotate the head by using the drill. It locks. It's a very strong connection, which is also good because otherwise you'd have to get down there to rotate the head, and that would be really tricky, honestly. But there's the front of the chest. We got a clearer look at some of that silver on that side. Arms we basically saw in alt mode. We just got the claws jutting out now. And then we got the silver crotch there. The legs with a bit of silver on the front. And the treads now hanging off the back of the legs. And then the very solid lower yellow legs with that there. And then there is the back of him. I mean, it's parts formed, but clean. It's clean. Articulation wise, I already mentioned about the head articulation. Does a 360, and you can have him tilt his head up thanks to the transformation joint. Arms can rotate a full 360 degrees. Able to go out that far. Biceps full 360 degrees. Arm bend 90 degrees, and then he has the lower claw is able to move up and down. Waist has 360 degree rotation. Legs can bend that far forward and that far back. Whoops. And they can go that far out. Knees do a 90 degree bend, and I guess you can get an ankle rotation, knee rotation there if you want. Just how that works. Oh, and there is also, thigh swivel. Almost forgot about the thigh swivel. Can't do it all the way because this gets in the way, but you know what? You get as much thigh swivel as you really need. And then full on ankle tiltage is great. Look at that ankle tilt. I love the ankle tilts on this line. But yeah. So that is the articulation. And with his weapons, you can take them, you can combine them. And stock photography shows instead of like Brunt putting it on his back, you can put it on the 5mm port on his arm and can do that as well. Just the pew, pew, pew. Oh, I forgot about battle effects parts. You can also stick that on there and on here. Other blast effect parts are the shoulders there. Nothing on the lower arms, nothing on the legs really at all. So yeah, I guess it's just those two on the shoulders right there. I'll just put an effect in there because it's hard to see that. There we go. There's the effect on the shoulder. So yeah, not a whole lot of effects ports on him per se. But you know what? He's all good. But I do want to talk about this a little bit more because another thing I like to do is to remove his drill head, put it into the arm, and use this as like a giant, as an arm-mounted drill weapon, which I think looks good, especially with the silver paint between the two. The black, not so much, but you can also remove that. And I like to use that weapon combination with some of my other Transformers when he is weaponized. But I'll get into that I'll get into weaponization in a moment. But first, we do have to do some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Legends class Tailgate and Deluxe class Sideswipe, Voyager class Optimus Prime and Leader class Ultra Magnus, his mold mate Brunt, the other two weaponizers Cog and Six Gun, and of course the channel's mascots Soundwave and Wheeljack. So that's all about the robot mode, but we're not quite done because like I said, he's a weaponizer. So we're just gonna disassemble him and then I'll put him into the recommended configurations in the instruction booklet, which are the same ones that are in Brunt's if you have him. I'll show the video disassembly, but I'll just put the armor on the figure, which will be Sideswipe. But getting to disassembly, here are all of the parts that you can get out of Zetar, Powerdasher Zetar here. Take that off. You can take that off. You can take these off and split that. Take that arm off. You can take his torso off, as well as this back section. I'll just configure this into a form more likely to be used. There we go. I'm going to split that divide that, and those are all of his individual parts. Granted, some of them aren't going to really be used without each other. I need to move this back because there's a lot of small parts on the ground. But one thing I do want to mention before I do any combinations is I didn't figure this out until messing with him. This drill bit section will fit onto the cannon section using the friction from the shape of this outer ring here going into the outer ring of this section, which is very nice. It's not a super strong connection, like it will fall up pretty easily, but it will hold well enough. So, and that looks good in my opinion. And then you also have ports there, and a 5mm handle on this. These will probably more so be used in this configuration, so 5mm port there, and a post there, as well as a post there. Same with the other arm. You got the 5mm hole, 2 5mm port posts, 1 5mm post, and 1 5mm port there. The 2 5mm holes there, and the 3 posts here, and then the 2 posts at the end of the legs, the 1 post on the back of the legs, these holes, 1 post on the back of the leg, and then the 1 hole at the bottom of the 1 foot, which typically you're going to use that for combination with the other leg. So again, those are all of his pieces, and now I'll get him into the 2 recommended configurations. And there's the first official configuration, the demolition mode, where the arms become high heel shoes or elevator shoes. The turret becomes a forearm shield. The torso and the drill become a drill mounted arm weapon, and then the legs become the cannon on the back, which are supported by the upper legs, which peg into the back. These pieces aren't on the instructions, but I figured I'd put them on because they're not mentioned in the instructions at all, pretty much. So that's configuration 1. So now to configuration 2. And here is the serpentine mode, where you basically take most of the body. There's the torso, there's the upper legs, there's the lower legs, and then there are the arms to give side swipe or any other figure compatible with weaponizers. Basically a double snake backpack or scorpion claw backpack that has a fair bit of articulation. You can do that. You can use that. You can use the articulation in the actual arm. Sorry, that was off camera. So you get quite a bit of range on it, and it's able to rotate and all that good stuff. So yeah, and then recommended in the instructions is that you use the turret base as a forearm shield again, but I also decided to throw on the drill as I showed off much earlier in the video, just so as you can see how that looks. But again, these are weaponizers. There's a lot of different ways to combine them with other figures, so you can do whatever you want that is possible. So that is Powerdasher Zetar, and I really like him. I know a lot of people already do like the brunt mold, and I definitely do too, but I don't know, something about this just gives it a little bit extra energy. I very much appreciate how this peg right here, which is a 5mm handle for the chest if you hold that as a cannon, also ends up being used as the way the drill is mounted on the front. I like that extra attention, that little bit of probably pre-planned tooling, but I appreciate that it's there. The paint is very nice. I really like the colors. It's black and yellow and a little bit of blue on the face. So yeah, Bumblebee Goldbug comparisons can be made, but you know what? I still like it. The silver looks very nice. I appreciate this character existing, and that since there's a blank slate to them, that I can just be like, yeah, this dude's like one of those Super Sentai robots that are just like there to help combine with the main character robot. You know, that's just what I think of him, and he's just so anime. I don't know, and I can't wait to have the other 2, so it can be even more super anime. That's just how I think of them for some reason, because there's just literally nothing else. Maybe it's the face, maybe it's the colors. I don't know, but yeah. I do really like Zetar. The only thing of note, again, is just making sure when you're extending the arms, you have enough pressure to get it all the way, but not too much to pull the lower arm out of the mushroom peg. That is the only thing you need to be worried about. But that is all I have to say on Powerdasher Zetar. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, if you would like to help support the channel, you can find my Ko-fi link in the description down below. And you should also check out RDSJ Gaming, where I play video games with Alyssa, aka the Rational Dove. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.